Hey guys, and welcome back to Scotty Knows. Here today again, we're working back on the Honda D16. I know in the last video I stated that I was actually putting the head back on, but actually developed a problem. So actually when I was putting tightening the head studs down to torque them down, I actually stripped the threads in the aluminum block here. So that developed me a problem only on this one as well as this one. So I had a problem. So I was able to kind of solve the problem. And had to invest in a Time Sert kit here, which was actually made for a D16 head bolt repair kit, which actually is pretty cool. It actually has the inserts, the metal inserts that I can actually thread in, but I'm gonna have to do some drilling, some tapping, and all that good stuff, which is totally fine. But the cool thing is, let's see if I can get this thing open, is that the inserts they give you, similar to that of a Healy coil, is actually made of steel, and it's actually long enough that it should thread down into the block here. You know, it should thread down in the block and should secure this ARP head stud. So, you know, just kind of showing you an example. You know, of course, when I first got it, I wanted to test it to make sure it worked, but it should work. So let me get some tools here. We're going to see if I can get, well, I should be able to get these studs out, and then I'll go ahead and tap it and see what I can do. All right, so here we are. I got all the studs out, or all the head bolts here, and got everything kind of bolted down. The cool thing is they actually have an alignment tool here, so it actually aligns over top of the hole to make sure you're going to get an even cut. So I do have to remove that, replace this insert, and I'll use that to drill. So here's the drill bit. It actually has a drill stop here, so when I go down it should actually stop where it needs to be. So it should go down to the appropriate depth, you know, once I get down there, and it should be good. So I'm going to start with this one, and then I'm going to do the other one too. So let me get some motor oil, I'll lube this up, I'll put it in my drill, and we'll get to drilling. Alright, so I got it drilled out. The manual says to leave this piece in here while I use the tap, which is here. So I'm going to leave that in there, and I believe you go to that top line there as it goes down. So I got my driver for the tap. We'll get this set up and we'll go ahead and tap it. Now it does say to use WD-40 on the threads. I got PB Blaster, should be just as good. So let's get started. so I got everything cleaned out. Let's see, probably hard to see. Got some new threads. So now I'm gonna use the final step here, which is actually gonna be the use of the cutting, well, not the cutting oil, but the driver oil. One of the threads, I'm gonna put the driver oil on the threads of the insert driver. And then on the bottom of the insert here, I'm gonna use some of the thread locker that came with the kit. And just reading it, I believe it goes a little bit on the bottom here, and we'll see about getting it in. So let's get rocking. Alright, so moment of truth. Think it's working here. Alright, so it works. So now I'm gonna get everything set up for this side. Alright, so here we are. Got all the studs back in here, ready to put the head back on, gasket back on, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna see, and hopefully these things hold up pretty well. We're gonna find out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the head on. Hopefully I can film me torquing it this time, at least the one time. I am gonna do 3 sets of torques, 20, 40, and 60, so I can get to the final torque. So let me grab my gasket, we'll get this head on, and we'll get torquing. Alright, so not even torqued the first one down, and it felt like the thing stripped. So we're going to pull this stud out. I guarantee you there's probably some metal on there, and quite honestly, I'm kind of at the point where I might go ahead and just tap all 10 of these things, because I'm really not trusting the metal. So I'm not quite sure exactly what happened, but let me grab my flashlight. It kind of seems like okay, you probably can't even see in there. I kind of feel like that thing is trashed. Alright guys, so it's actually the next day here. I did attempt to put the head on, however, the threads in here are stripped. So I actually used the entire kit and actually re-threaded with the Time Serts, all 10 studs here. So I think we're in good shape. I got the gasket on. I'm going to attempt to put the head on and hopefully don't have any problems. But just for reference, I got the Time Sert kit. It's actually this kit here. It wasn't cheap, but it was the best I could find. It actually came with the drill taps, all that good stuff. It seemed to work pretty well. So I'm going to attempt to put this head on and see if I can get it torqued down. Alright guys, so it's next day here on the D16 D6 motor build. So in the last clips I actually got the head on, everything's torqued down properly and all that good stuff. Now it's time to tackle the oil pan. So I actually pulled out the oil pan I have, which is actually a Canton Racing oil pan, which actually has the turbo bung already installed. I just figured it'd save me a lot more time than having to customize my own. The only issue I've had so far with test fitting this thing is a couple of the holes were actually misaligned just slightly enough that I actually had to break out my file, which I actually have here, just to kind of file out some of the sides a little bit. So what I'm going to do is use my genuine Honda oil pan gasket, put some Honda Bond on the lip here, stick this on, put a little bit more Honda Bond on the top of that, and then it should snugly fit over top of the oil sump and all that good stuff. So quickly I'm going to go ahead and just double check and make sure everything is blown out and clean, and then we should be able to be good to go. So let's hop to it. Alright, so I didn't film the whole process of, tightening the oil pan down, but I did want to make sure I got the corners down first, kind of alternating size just like everything else, and then kind of went around a couple different sequences just to make sure everything was tight and everything seems to be good to go. So oil pan's on. What I'm going to do is flip it over and try to work on this intake manifold. So let's get this thing flipped over and see if we can install it. Alright, so I got everything on. Everything's looking really good. Kind of got things spun around here, but I actually started pulling stuff off my old intake manifold here. Some little brackets, different things. And since it's actually a nice day today, I might actually get to painting it. So I got this bracket. I know some people, they say they have trouble with this lining up, but mine lines up pretty good. So I think I'm going to keep it that way. I'm going to get this all cleaned up and painted. So idle air control valve should be pretty good, and I'm probably going to get ready to clean this thing up a little bit since it is kind of a nice day, and kind of get this painted and cleaned up because everything looks pretty good. I'll get some brake cleaner, carb cleaner, clean out the holes here. Everything should be good. So also, since it's been a couple days and I got the inkling here to get the transmission out of the Civic, I went ahead and got this thing tore apart and took everything out and made sure everything was good. Seems to be, you know, shifting a little bit better, so everything seems to be moving. So I'm gonna get ready to get this case put back on, and hopefully that'll work. So that'll probably be in the Civic video, but coming along, making progress everywhere. So let me take advantage of this good day and get some stuff painted. Alright, so I went ahead and got the idle air control valve painted, put on. I think it matches pretty well, as well as the throttle cable bracket. I went ahead and swapped out for some cleaner hardware here, but everything's looking good. So we're in the right direction. Definitely got to order my camshaft and different things, and we'll go ahead and finish up this head. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode as we continue to work on this D16Z6, as well as I'm working on my transmission for the Honda here. That way I can get this thing to shift. Other than that, we're good to go. So stay tuned for the next episode. I appreciate you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.